So I decided to do the reflection piece by video so that you can see my lovely face and some of the environment that I'm working in here in San Francisco. So looking at the questions specifically, when will we reflect on the unit and how will we make time? I think it's very important to embed time for reflection, formalize the time for reflection. If we don't formalize the time for reflection, then it doesn't get done. I guess it doesn't need to be done to deliver the unit. That's the thing. So sometimes it can actually fall by the wayside, as it could be perceived as least importance. But it's very, very important. Without reflection, then the unit will not develop and evolve. The curriculum, including the unit plans, should be a living thing. It shouldn't be static. It should be allowed to grow and to develop. To ensure that the reflection is done, I think it's best not left until the end. It's natural in some ways, and especially looking at the MYP guiding questions, to reflect at the end of a unit. But if we can reflect at significant points within the unit, it's going to be better, especially if you happen to be teaching more than one class. So at significant points, I guess we could say, and those could be after a certain planning lab, maybe after a certain research assignment, significant points within the unit. Finding time is always difficult. Teachers are busy. You're always grading, always planning, etc. Again, reflection can often be the last thing on the list, and again, that's a reason why it should be formalized. How will we make time? The administration need to give us time. Personal reflection is very good, but I think verbalizing your reflections will make them real and make you more likely to act on them. So I think it's important to reflect and share your reflections, possibly with your head of faculty or whatever. If there are two people teaching the same unit, then it goes without saying that you reflect together, and I think that's going to be a very valuable way to do it. So I think it's essential to reflect with somebody else, even informally in a staff common room or something like that. I think reflections need to have a conclusion to them. The conclusion could be that this piece of the unit worked very, very well, and it doesn't need any modification, I guess. But if a reflection finds weaknesses or areas where things could be improved upon, or maybe the point wasn't put across properly or the task wasn't effective, then of course a conclusion has to be made and an action has to be made, and that's how the reflections will allow us to improve the teaching and develop the unit over time, but only by having these drawing conclusions from the reflections and acting on them. Actions need to be drawn into the conclusion or included. It's part of a cycle, isn't it? The teaching, the results, or the student work, the reflecting on the teaching process, and the reflecting on the student's work, actions to make improvements, and then we're back around to the teaching again. So it's an active cycle which is going on, and it's inevitable that these reflections will improve the teaching and the student learning. That's the bottom line. There's no point in doing it unless it improves the student learning or assists the student learning. So the cycle will allow us to, it's like a positive feedback scenario where we are looking at the results, changing our methodology or content or whatever, and then going back around and around again. And that cycle could be quite a long cycle, I guess, if the unit isn't to be looked at until the following year or taught until the following year. And again, it could be used again in a month or a week or even the next day or so. So that's another reason why reflection should be done ongoing through the unit, because if you are teaching it to multiple classes, we want these improvements to be applied as soon as possible. As well as ongoing reflection through the unit and a kind of summative reflection at the end of the unit, I think there has to be some evaluation of unit plans, at least annually, which can then be used to plan ahead for the subsequent years. The unit plans together create the curriculum, or are the curriculum, and the curriculum needs to be evaluated on a regular basis, reviewed for relevance and efficacy, and this needs to be done at least annually. So the question, how will our reflections and evaluation of the unit contribute to the subject and grade level curriculum development process? They're essential. Unless we reflect on our unit plans, we can't know whether they are effective and relevant, and then we can't go ahead and do our annual review of the curriculum. So those are my reflections on the reflection of how we should look at our unit plans.